This week, we've got updates from 5-Axis Innovations, ALPHASONIK, MEMPHIS, HKI, and Diamond Audio. This is CMA All Access, brought to you by SiriusXM and sponsored by 5-Axis Innovations. And it starts now. Well, this past weekend in Las Vegas, Knowledge Fest was full of surprises, and Diamond Audio came to play with a brand new, very unique platform, or shall I say, selling tool or training tool for that matter, when it comes to motorcycle audio. We go now to Brian Piper to tell us a little bit more about the unveiling of Skeletor.
Hi, Ben. So, yeah, we had a great show this year at Knowledge Fest. Lots of excitement about products and getting to show Skeletor off. This was an idea that started last year, and we built this kind of mock motorcycle experience just to give dealers an idea of what could be done with motorcycle audio and give them an idea of how you could show a customer what's capable. And over time, it kind of evolved into what is now Skeletor that we revealed at Knowledge Fest, where it's basically a full motorcycle frame with all kinds of goodies on it. There's no engine, there's no drivetrain on it, anything like that. Where the engine is now, or would normally be, is all amplifiers and DSP. But it gives us the ability to discuss active channels versus passive channels, DSP, tuning, time delay, and all of these different characteristics of sound quality that help improve motorcycle audio for the listener and the rider.
Well, Brian, there's two comments I want to make here. First, I must admit, at first glance, I wasn't expecting such a well finished piece. When you're talking about it in its early stages, it was just simply for training. But I mean, there's a lot of polish involved with this, so I think people should recognize, the airbrush and the painting and all those little fabrication things that I feel, really make a difference. On the other side of it, absolutely unique to have a platform dedicated completely to help dealers better understand what is involved with motorcycle audio. I think having a physical tool that gives you an idea of a sense of space, a sense of structure and physicality makes a definite huge difference when it comes to trying to understand this environment that is motorcycle audio. Now, having said that, I want to give you an opportunity to kind of break through or break out rather the equipment that was actually installed onto Skeletor.
Yeah, Ben. So being able to show, or like you said, give a space concept of what motorcycle audio is, we can talk about it and train about it all day long in a classroom. But until you can physically sit on the bike and get an idea of where things are and how things fit, it doesn't really resonate 100%. So what we did with this bike, we put a prototype of our new MSHD 14 radio in there, which will get upgraded to a full production model when we're ready for that. It has multiple amplifiers. There's a total of 16 active channels on the bike between four micro 8U series amplifiers. There's two MSDSP 88s to control all of those channels. And then we have the Neo 6.5s in the fairing with an MO75 tweeter. In the lid kit, we have the Neo 6x9 with an MO75 tweeter. And then there's four 8-inch mid bass drivers in the saddlebags with the expansion of a lower fairing kit going in once I have the adapter plates for those. So we will have a total of 16 channels available on this bike to show all kinds of different options for sound performance and quality of what you can do on a bike like this.
Now, no doubt, Brian, that it was a major feature and pleasure to get a first glimpse at this new source unit, which I'm sure we'll be circling back to in a future session. But just to see the speakers and drivers installed in their place where they're supposed to be in its proper environment is also something that is very unique. I have to admit, the quality, the fit and finish of the Diamond Audio drivers really shines when you see it installed in its proper environment. What is some of the feedback that you've had from dealers, and how have you been using this in your trainings?
So in training, the most training we've done with Skeletor up to this point was in Orlando and Dallas. We had it set up in the booth. In Orlando, we had an on the floor training that we did with it after an in class training. And I could tell you from those two trainings that we've done, we've had a lot of response about just people understanding how time delay works and how it affects what you do. When we did training, John and I used three different tunes so you could have a tune with just crossovers in the DSP, and then crossovers in an EQ, and then crossovers, EQ, and time delay. And it gave you this ability to show anyone sitting on the bike the differences in what each piece added to the equation. So going forward, that's kind of the concept, is we just want to give everyone the opportunity to know what the differences are so that you know how to incorporate tunes into the DSPs, or even when we're able to load tunes into the radios if you're only using that DSP, so that you have multiple options. But it gives dealers a bit of a comfort level of understanding what is capable with DSP in motorcycle audio.
So for me, Brian, I feel like this project, first of all, congratulations, is something I feel is pretty unique, but it also sends a statement. And the statement is how serious Diamond Audio is taking their motorcycle division. It's clear that you want to make sure your dealers are well educated and you're giving them the best training possible through unique tools such as the Skeletor. What is in store for Skeletor moving forward, and where can dealers get that Skeletor experience in the next few months?
So we will have Skeletor at Nashville Knowledge Fest. I believe there's a potential that it may be going to the CMA show with you guys. I know that's still in discussion. And we will have it in Atlantic City for Knowledge Fest. I know there's been some talk of a couple of other potential events that we may ship him out to have that experience available. Going forward, the plans with we work with a shop here in San Antonio where I live called Benz and Bikes that helped us kind of put this all together. And I know there's plans to go forward, and we're going to put this on a full rolling chassis and do some other cool things to it to be able to incorporate some of the functions that our radio has. So we're able to demonstrate them on a bike properly. So it'll be a little bit more than what it is now. As time progresses, it's kind of a got to build it in stages kind of scenario, but it will continue to go forward. And as products evolve for us, the Skeletor will probably get an evolution of product changes. Just depends on what all we decide we need to use the bike for as we progress.
Hi, Jody from 5Access here. Just want to bring everybody up to speed with what we do and how we do it. We're a display company. We do a lot of custom graphics. Obviously, we do custom audio boards. We do RGB lighting. We do graphical work up top. We also do all the different custom amp mounts. So for all your store needs, we do front counters, we do home audio sections, we do lighting, everything that you're looking for, give us a call. Again, it's 5Access, 414-326-7162.
Our partners at 5-Axis Innovations have been incredibly busy, helping dealers and manufacturers alike up their game when it comes to display units. Well, recently they've encountered another retailer, this time in the Michigan area, that has absolutely taken it to another level. We go now to Jody Culbertson, who's going to share with us this very unique opportunity they had to partner up with a new store and new displays.
Ben, you're totally right. We have had the privilege over the last 8 years to develop some very cool concepts. And, ultimately, a lot of our vision and our creativity comes when the customer challenges us. There's many times where we get challenged and we go, oh, I don't know if we want to get out of our comfort zone, but that's where great things happen with everybody. And this customer who challenged us on a lot of levels to create something very unique had a lot of vision. He had a lot of ideas that he wanted to bring to the table, and we were blessed enough to be given the opportunity to have carte launch on his store and develop a vision that he saw for his company moving forward into the 2020, 2023 concept.
All right, folks, I will warn you, this will inspire you, especially if you have a store that's kind of in need of some updates. Jody, why don't you set this up for us? Tell us what the store is, where it's located, and what do they do as far as business and service offering?
So the customer we're going to talk about today is in Grand Rapids, Michigan. The store name is Extreme Car Audio. The owner is Pablo. He started this business in the early 90s, I believe. It was his first, business as a young entrepreneur, and grew it to something that is quite magnificent at the end of the day. One of the cool things about this that you will see, they offer vehicle wrap. They offer paint protection. They offer window tint. They offer car audio, marine audio, motorcycle audio, automotive. They do all wheels and tires. They do lifts. They do tonneau covers. You name it, you can bring your car to them and they will do it all. They are a one-stop shop. And his vision was very clear when I came to visit him, was that he wanted to be the ultimate place where a customer could bring their car and have the experience to outfit every single element of that car. Ben, welcome to Extreme Car Audio. As you see, the TV in the back wall is a 164-inch TV, very impactful. We were given the opportunity to walk through this store with the customer when they were in the design process and create islands, because we had so much floor space. We wanted to walk customers through in a very easy fashion. Notice we created the ultimate grocery store. Everything is clearly labeled in every single element of this store. So one of the things that Pablo has commented on, when customers now come into his store, they are very clear when they walk in. They see what they're looking for and easily can walk up to it. It's a very, very open environment. We integrated with the window tint. He's got 5 levels of window tint. We go to the vehicle wrap. You go to the audio boards in the back corner. Pablo wanted to be able to showcase 30 pairs of speakers in his store. He now has the ability. Our custom subwoofer display, we added that. This is the first kick at the cat at the new Extreme counter that we built for him. We built it in 6 stages, all 5-foot sections. As you will notice, the subwoofer display is basically an island concept, so customers can see all the different subwoofers. And as you start to see, you can see the counter in the back. There's 2 sections of counter in this store that span 30 feet total. So it's very impactful when people do walk into the store to make them understand all the different levels they do.
What can I say, Jody? This is absolutely breathtaking. Never have I ever seen or heard of a store that looks quite as modern, as high tech as the one you're presenting today. This is literally the culmination of all these great pieces that you've been talking to us about over the last year or two, all coming together into one master showroom. Now, let's break it down real quick. There's a couple key pieces in here I want you to kind of zone in on and give us more details about. Let's start with that CompuStar Remote Start section.
Ben, we set out to create the best remote start display we have ever created. And we wanted it in a very easy way for a customer to walk around. So Pablo gave us some very good ideas. He wanted it very clean. He wanted it backlit acrylic. He wanted price tags. You see our new price tags that are CNC'd right into the actual frame. We also have recoils for the remote. He laid it out in a way that works for all his sales guys. So it is a very intuitive way that the staff can walk a customer around in a very high quality environment to see exactly how that display works. So the next display I want to show you, Ben, this one really took us into another level that we have never touched before. We had the ability to figure out a way to envision what Pablo envisioned. When he came to us, he was very clear. Jody, I want touchscreens. I want to be state of the art. I don't want any more images. I want to do it all with touchscreen to make it really easy. So we integrated 2 large 55-inch touch panels on a 10-foot wide display with full window tint options. You see all the edge lighting, you see all the 5 levels that he offers, as well as the heat lamps right below, so the consumer can see the heat level each tint offers as you walk through. Simply walk up, click the button, touch the screen, you're in the business. It's showing every single level that he carries. What's beautiful about this is Pablo really wanted this screen to sell everything. So he wanted the pricing on it. He wanted the different types of vehicle. He wanted the different shades on it. He wanted to give the consumer something that they have never seen before in a level of service. And he accomplished that task, I must say. As you can see, when you walk up to the display, it's very easy for the customer or the salesperson to do it. Standing back from the display, the edge lighting, the LED panel, all the artwork is interchangeable, so you can easily step back and change it out as you feel. But that is the ultimate window tint display, something we have never, ever had the privilege to build. And now we can hang our hat on that display.
Jody, I gotta admit, I've never seen a walk-up display for window tint that involved a giant touchscreen. This is absolutely next level stuff. It's like future stuff that's happening right now. Now, the next one we're going to show you might be new to a lot of 12-volt retailers, but according to you, Jody, this is the next step in evolution of profit centers for automotive accessory shops.
You know, Ben, you're totally right. The evolution of automobiles is changing. And one of the things we have to remember is we don't want to forget about these categories that are expanding at a rapid pace. PPF is growing drastically. Ceramic coating is really blowing up in our industry. A lot of guys are starting to get into ceramic coating. And finally, vehicle wrap is becoming ever more relevant in our world. And let's face it, paint jobs are not cheap. Vehicle wrap is interchangeable. Plus, it allows the customer to add longevity to their vehicle as well as giving them the individual look. So if you look at this new display that we created for them, you'll see another 10-foot section, full touchscreens, full ceramic coating. All of those options are there. Plus, you get the ability to walk up there and quickly touch the touchscreen, and you are back in business. That is how easy it is. You also have the ability to go over and check out the new vehicle wrap display that we have customized and we are now offering in North America. I was tired of trying to figure out ways to do PPF, so I wanted to come up with a way for vehicle wrap to allow you the ability to simply take out the metal piece. These are custom to us, wrap it whatever color you want, and you have the ability to do anything you want. If it's Avery, if it's 3M, whatever you want to put on there, you can select 10, 20, 30, 100 different colors. We can design it any way. But the ability to select and do what you want, we want our customers to have when they're showcasing whatever products they want in their store.
Now, certainly, Jody, it doesn't feel like these 10 minutes we have together here on live is quite enough to get into all the details that 5-Axis Innovations has put into this project. However, we have seen some important things, some innovations, and some modern technology leading type displays that should inspire other dealers. Of course, I have to ask you, with all this lighting and detail that you've put into these displays, what does this place look like when it's all lit up? And what message finally do you have for other retailers who may be tuning in and inspired to make that change?
You know, Ben, we've been talking quite a few years over what we do and how we do it. And as we evolve, I love lighting things up. I think the more we light things up, the more appeal it is to consumers. And I love to give stores that idea when a customer walks in, they see something they've never seen before. And Pablo was all great about this store. He was, Jody, you just go to town and light it up. And that's what we did. We put all full RGB halo. We did everything off of your phone. You simply walk in. All the islands are lit acrylic that can change whatever color, and we etched in all the sayings as you see here. With the remote start, with the window tint, with the PPF, everything is edge lit to give you that impact when you walk in. You know, I'm quite astounded that we had the ability to actually be involved with this store, because this was truly a game changer for us. And it gave us the ability to kind of push us into new levels. That counter, I remember designing that counter with the CAD guy, and it was a lot of work. Our Envision, even doing that sign and backlighting it and creating the X to have a red X, we wanted that. That was very important. So as you can see, when you walk around from the accessories underneath, the islands are all lit. Our famous subwoofer display, our curved audio boards that are tuned and vented out the back. Everything really came together beautifully in this environment. And at the end of the day, it really came down to being given the opportunity from a great retailer such as Pablo. You know, one of the greatest parts of our job is being able to meet different people around the country. And I have to admit, I very much enjoy talking to Pablo. He has a ton of experience, wealth of knowledge, and he knew what he wanted, and he trusted us enough. So I wanted to thank him personally, as well as his team, for allowing us to be a part of this build, because truly it is remarkable for us. And it allowed us to push into new areas that we have never, ever thought of. So any retailers looking to redo their store, obviously there's different levels, there's different budgets to everybody. But at the end of the day, the one message I always preach, we will always try to do our best and try to create the most inviting environment for your consumers that is allowed in your store and for your vision. So give us a call. Again, this is a very, very exciting time for us to release this store, and I hope you enjoy this presentation.
Hey guys, Ricky Lima here from SiriusXM. I had a chance to speak to some dealers and ask them what they love about selling SiriusXM. Here's what they had to say.
Coast-to-coast coverage.
I love SiriusXM for commercial-free music.
It's a great add-on sale and a profit opportunity. We love selling SiriusXM because you can listen to the same channel coast to coast.
Profitability and ease of installation. It's a no-brainer.
We love selling SiriusXM for its ease of installation, great profitability, and its reliability.
People love it.
K-Fest this past weekend, there's no way you would have missed this following booth that we're talking about. Of course, we're talking about HKI USA, who was front row and center as you walked in the event with a mega booth showing off all their brands. We're going now to Mr. Jacob Brown, the Director of Operations, to get a sense of how K-Fest unraveled and also some congratulations in order. So Jacob, first of all, congratulations on an amazing award for your team under the Power Sports division as top vendor. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, Ben, thanks, man. It's one of those things that obviously it's bittersweet going up against some of those other manufacturers. You know, I mean, I think we were up against JL and Electromedia, both of them powerhouses in the industry. But to be able to take that award home just speaks volumes to the products that we have available under this Power Sports family of products. So, you know, from Ground Zero, from Sound Digital, from HKI themselves, it's really cool to be able to kind of bring all these products together and know that we're really doing something cool in that motorcycle and power sports realm.
Now, Jacob, I know that that category obviously means a lot to HKI, and you nailed it. I mean, you got such strong products in there, but to know that that award came from the voting of your customers, I mean, that's got to mean something.
Yeah, not just our customers, but just the overall industry. You know, I mean, we couldn't have done this with just our people. Even some non-competing vendors probably said, hey, what these guys are doing is pretty cool. But the other thing, too, is it's not just the products, it's also our team, you know. So for the industry to recognize our team as this powerhouse in the motorcycle world really does mean a lot to me.
One thing I will say, being live at the awards, you know, seeing the entire HKI team going up and receiving the award, I couldn't help but notice that, well, basically the cheerleader for Power Sports Division in HKI wasn't even there. What happened to Andy?
Yeah, I mean, you even heard me say it when we were up there that, you know, not bad for a bunch of car audio nerds. But no, Andy just couldn't make the show, had something pop up at home. And obviously, you know, HKI is a family before business type company. So we wanted him home. We wanted him taking care of what needed to get taken care of. And, you know, obviously we missed him. It's kind of ironic that our Power Sports guy wasn't there for the Power Sports Award, but, you know, we wish him and his family the best.
All right. So Andy Smith, hey, if you're watching, buddy, you were there. Your whole team was there for you. Congratulations, sir. All right, let's get into some of the products. You had an amazing array of vehicles in the booth this year. Some of them I got a chance myself to sit in, but I mean, obviously showgoers were treated to a slew of different vehicles with different experiences. Let's talk a little bit about the Ground Zero presence in the booth.
Yeah, the cool thing about the Ground Zero presence is, you know, Ground Zero was in absolutely every vehicle that we represented at Vegas. So between the 5 vehicles, all 5 vehicles were equipped with at least all Ground Zero speakers and subwoofers. That being said, a couple of the vehicles, 2 of the vehicles had full Ground Zero packages from the ground up. One was kind of a mix of some other items with our Ground Zero speakers and subs. So, I mean, really in typical HKI fashion, we want to just do some cool stuff.
You know, time and time again, Jacob, the message has always been that Ground Zero is a brand that could really fulfill a store's needs as far as car audio is concerned, from entry level all the way to high level SQ. And I think Ground Zero did a really good job demonstrating that through vehicles, having different setups with different levels of product. And you know, to my surprise, I was talking to some dealers. And look, for example, look at, you know, the Audi SUV. I mean, when people see the price tag on that, they're blown away. So, you know, congratulations for that. Now, you did mention also that there's other brands involved. So it would be remiss if we didn't talk about the momentum that Sound Digital now has been building within the car audio realm. I mean, for many, like the award says, you know, Power Sports and Sound Digital definitely go hand in hand. But with the new GAN product, man, that's definitely a buzz.
Yeah, you know, Sound Digital is a car audio company. They've always been a car audio company. It's just that the product line has worked very, very well in the power sports industry because of footprint and because of power. But yes, GAN is something that we are seeing a lot of, I don't want to say momentum, but re-excitement almost in the industry. A bunch of industry vets, a bunch of our peers, really got a chance to hear the car that demonstrated GAN on ground zero speakers and subwoofers, and really kind of took a step back and thought about how it is that they just experienced that vehicle. And the experiences that they had in that car were unrivaled, I think, by any of the other vehicles in that show. So what we were accomplishing with that build was just an eye-opening experience to the industry. And for us, I like to make waves. So if I can make waves with something that doesn't make sense, it's absolutely fun to me.
Well, speaking about making waves, unless you've been living under a rock, you know that HKI came to market with a brand new GAN 5-channel amplifier just a few short months ago. And more recently, have introduced a new 8-channel. And this is, of course, the buzz that we are speaking to. So if you're at KFest and you had a chance to listen to what this GAN business is all about, certainly you're one of the privileged few. And I'm sure as time moves forward, we'll have more opportunities. So speaking of that, if dealers missed you guys at KFest, where can they get that GAN Ground Zero experience for the next few months ahead?
So with as much traction and, as you had put it, momentum and excitement and everything that we're doing with GAN, you will be able to see that at pretty much any upcoming industry trade show that we can name. So yeah, I mean, MasterTech coming up here soon, Knowledge Fest, pretty much any Knowledge Fest coming up here pretty soon, you'll be able to hear it. And that's really kind of what excites us is the fact that we have this ability to demonstrate this on a level that is going to make our industry peers really kind of take a look at what we're doing and get excited.
And last but not least, Jacob, before I let you go, obviously another big component that's kind of making waves in its own right is Turi. Now, of course, that's not car audio, but for those who understand what Turi is all about, the potential for this product is certainly growing at a very fast rate. What was the feedback like on Turi at the event?
How did I know you're going to ask me a Turi question? Normally this is something that we point towards our fan favorite Doug Dobson, but I think for me one of the biggest takeaways is still honestly the biggest takeaway that we've been experiencing with Turi, and that is the security aspect of it. Yes, it's a throttle control system. Well, the Turi Fast Max, which is kind of the newest thing we've been playing with, is a throttle control system, but its level of security is one of those things that I think a lot of people didn't know that they needed. And by being able to launch a product that makes a customer or a dealer or somebody take a step back and go, it's something I've never thought of. It's something I've never thought that I needed, and now I need it in my life, is I think really still the biggest takeaway for Turi, is that it's a product that kind of came out of nowhere to do something really cool that the industry, I think, needed.
CE Outlook is dedicated to keeping the car audio and electronics industry informed on the latest issues, trends, and product releases. New feature stories posted daily. Visit ceoutlook.com for the latest industry news. Hot off an amazing event of K-Fest in Las Vegas, Memphis had a very strong showing with so much new gear to show in the booth. We're going to connect now with President Nick LaMonaco to talk about some of the hot products that were unveiled at K-Fest this past weekend. Now, Nick, congratulations. That was an amazing booth. What an experience. We had a chance to shoot some video with you. But today I want to talk about 3 of the hot products that really came out of that K-Fest experience. The first one we want to talk about are the PR Amplifier series, one of the most popular series of amplifiers for Memphis, but some new applications to be seen.
Yeah, man, it was a great show. I'm just barely starting to recuperate now, but we had a lot of good stuff to show, and the PR amplifiers were definitely the most exciting for our dealers, just because they're used to selling a ton of these amplifiers. They've been bread and butter in our line forever, as long as I can remember. And the PRX 1000 has been a bestseller, top seller for. I've been with the company since 2009, and it's always our go-to amplifier. Everyone loves 1,000 watts, and the PR amp is always the one that they go after. So our new amplifier series, being the PR 1000, is 43% smaller than the previous model, with probably a little bit of a power increase as well. So losing size, but not losing power or any feature, actually adding features. So getting smaller with more features, can't complain with that ever. New power ratings as well, keeping the 1000 and 1500 as well as the 500.4 and 800.5. But we added a 400 at 2 ohm that actually does 600 at 1 ohm. So we're calling it a 400 watt amp because foreshadowing for the future, maybe there's going to be a change in the PR amplifier or PR subwoofer power handling. I can't say for sure right now, but just think about that. And then we also added more LEDs on it. So, I mean, we know that's just going to add output 3 to 6 dB for the LEDs. And who knows, there may be more LEDs down the line for other parts, acoustics in the PR line. But for the amplifiers, you got cool LED lighting on the side. The Memphis logo on top lights up blue. And then sticking true to how we've been with the PR series for the last, well, probably 5-6 years, maybe longer. We put the controls under a panel. So we hide that from the end user. So when the installer sets the gains, sets the crossover, sets all that stuff, they don't just leave it open for the consumer to be able to turn all those volume knobs up and screw up the tune and maybe blow woofers or speakers. So kept that feature, as our dealers really like to be able to lock out the controls once they set them. And so the consumer doesn't even know there's that option. So a lot of cool features, but honestly, the biggest, most exciting part of it is we kept the power rating as it was, added LEDs, and made it up to 43% smaller, the chassis. So super cool, fit these things anywhere without giving up any sort of power or performance.
Now, Nick, I had the chance to touch and feel these amps, and I have to admit the small form factor certainly makes it very attractive and very modern looking. And we know, as you've mentioned many times on our show, that Memphis listens to their customers. So I have to imagine that these improvements, such as the power as well as the form factor, certainly came from feedback from dealers.
Yeah, we often, almost always listen to our dealers. And that definitely is one thing that they've been talking about is smaller amplifiers. And with this PR amplifier, we knew we needed to do something big. Everybody's improving our industry, so we always want to get better and better and better. And we went back to the engineer we worked with on our VIV amplifiers, which was the best amplifiers we've ever made. We got with him to be able to design a new PR series that was smaller but not sacrificing any power performance. So that is definitely something we've heard from our dealers, and we took action.
Now, speaking of taking action, I remember when you came on not too long ago to talk about something that you were very proud of and very unique to Memphis, and you called it the Memfuego box. Now, this Memfuego box has gone on to be somewhat of a legend in itself, in its own right. But getting to see it, its compact size, yet man, is it loaded with drivers and a new logo aesthetic to boot.
Yeah, the Menfuego box, when we launched it last year, took off and everyone loved it. We honestly thought it was going to be a niche product for certain parts of the states, but it turned out that everyone loved it and we're selling it everywhere. But again, right, listening to our customers, they love the fact that it's got 2 Pro 10s, 2 tweeters. The 10s are ported, so you're going to get extra mid-bass response out of those Pro mids, and it's just stupid loud. I mean, that's the only way to describe it. With all the LEDs on it, you're getting that extra boost. And it's just stupid loud when you plug this thing in, and people don't even realize how loud it's going to be. Everyone looks at it, go, oh, that's probably going to be pretty loud, and then you just rip their face off. But our customers talked a lot about wanting to be able to have some weatherproofing or more weather resistant. Put this in a bed of a truck for tailgating, or be able to pull it out of the car and just listen to it and have a little tougher outside shell, because it was just carpet wrap before. So we listened and we made it. We truck lined it, so added some weather resistance to the cone, truck lined it, and then made a quick release for the LEDs and the speaker connection. So if you do want to put it in the bed of a truck for a tailgate, you can quickly disconnect it, throw it inside when you go in for the game. Pretty much be able to use it anywhere. Have some customers that are using on the back of their boat for maybe it's not a wake boat, so they don't have room for big wake towers. So when they're parked in the cove, they pull this out and set it on the back of the boat. So tons of applications for it now, but still keeping tons of LEDs and tons of output. The new Memfuego with the routed Memfuego logo on the top of the box. Just a cool looking box as well. So very excited about it, and everyone that saw it loved it, even if they were like, I don't even know where I could put that, but I want one.
You know, you mentioned tailgating. I happened to on the day after K-Fest was done, I was by the stadium where Super Bowl was setting up, and I tell you, if there was an opportunity to sell Menfuegos, probably that would have been it. So maybe some advice for dealers, because I tell you, some of the setups these guys had for tailgating at Super Bowl, this Menfuego box would be absolutely awesome for that scenario. And as you heard from Nick, lots of upgrades, including that kind of truck-lined exterior, that new routed logo, just makes it a complete package. Definitely something you might want to have in your showroom this season. Now, finally, we want to talk about some application-specific stuff. It's not new for Memphis to have products for the UTV market, but from what we understand, a new and unique application is coming to market.
Yeah, we've been making stuff for the Can-Am Defender for a while, but we've been hearing from our customers they wanted some bass, and the Defender is more of a utility machine. So there's a lot of these machines that are coming with a full cab for the HVAC system. So people want to ride in comfort with their heat and AC. So that makes it a little bit different than most of your UTV systems and most of the stuff that we do. So first thing we did was add bass. So in a Defender, the front two-seater has a toolbox under the front seat, and a four-seater has a toolbox under the front and two toolboxes under the rear. So what we did was we pulled that toolbox out and made an enclosure that basically was the same exact size. So you pull that toolbox in, you can drop our powered enclosure in there and get 10 inches of bass with 350 watt RMS. The cool thing about that is you have a four-seater, you can add 3 10s into your machine, and it is stupid loud. And like all of our UTV stuff, you got LEDs on it, so you're going to get an extra 3 to 6 dB, and it's scalable. So we have the subwoofer amplifier built in. So if you've got your full interior system and you want to add a sub, you don't have to get a new amplifier. You don't have to change anything. You just got to get power ground and tap into your signal. It's really easy to add a sub. In the case of a four-seater, you can add 3 subs and maybe do it one at a time. Who knows? And then in addition with that HVAC, we've added interior speakers that sit up against the roof. So out of the way, so the rear passengers aren't hitting their head on a can while still getting that awesome Memphis 6.5 power sports speaker up there with LEDs on the ring, and then also the cone lit up. So you're going to get a ton of lights, a ton of output, and a ton of bass easily added into the Can-Am Defender now.
Mark your calendar. CMA Expo is returning in 2024 to the Toronto Congress Centre on April 5th, 6th, and 7th. A huge thank you to all the Canadian dealers who attended and made the inaugural event such an amazing success. You spoke and we listened. Thanks to your feedback, we've implemented some important changes to enhance your experience even further. Confirmed exhibitors for the 2024 CMA Expo are Alpine, Automobility, Importel, Trends Electronics, Gemsen Distribution, JBC Kenwood, Sony, Pioneer, Dix Performance, SiriusXM, Ericsson Consumer, Metra, Stinger, Fortin. Save money and take advantage of the early bird registration. But hurry, early bird ends Monday, January 29th. For more information and the latest updates, follow us on social or visit cmaexpo.ca. Well, the very popular brand ALPHASONIK is known for, of course, all its components, including amplifiers, speakers, and subwoofers. But did you know they also offer a complete line of accessories to complement all the equipment? We go now to Alexander Roca, who is standing by to talk to us about the entire lineup of accessories available from ALPHASONIK. Now, Alex, there's a lot to talk about here. Why don't we start with one of the basic ones that, well, every system needs, really, and it's called the fuse holder.
Hello, Ben. Well, yeah, you are correct. We have a very large variety of accessories that we manufacture as well, of course, to compensate with everything that we have for the products. But the one that you wanted to start off as far as the mini ANS fuse holders, you have here this booster package, pretty attractive. Of course, has the brand. It tells you exactly what's the gauge that they come with. And a plus that all of our fuse holders have, because they come with a fuse included on it. And yeah, most definitely a plus to have.
Very nice that the fuse is included with the fuse holder package. Don't be tricked, because sometimes they are not. So that's nice to see that ALPHASONIK does include that. Moving along the stream, of course, we have distribution blocks, which are an important part of the system as well. What variety does ALPHASONIK offer for distribution blocks?
Well, yeah, a large variety, of course, on the distribution block end that we do carry as well. As you could see, they do bring the logo on the actual distribution block itself, and on the back of it, it tells you what's the gauge that each on every distribution block is made for. All the logos are on the bottom of the blister packaging as well, very attractive, as you could see. And there you go.
So we quickly looked at some fuse block options as well as some distribution block options, but I think the one that's most popular, Alex, has got to be the amplifier kits. Every shop has to have a great selection of amplifier kits in stock, ready to either sell over the counter or to grab one off the showroom floor to install. So what type of amplifier kits does ALPHASONIK currently offer?
Well, Ben, we have two types of amplifier kits: 0, 4, and 8 gauge, and 2 models. What's the difference from each model? Basically, this one, it's the AA series. We do also carry an HK series. Difference between them, it's that the AA series, it has the tips for the RCAs that they are copper. That's what makes the difference. That's what makes the difference a little bit on the price as well on those. And like I mentioned, 0, 4, and 8 gauge. Well, I don't have to tell you. You're looking at the big ALPHASONIK logo right there on each one of them. They do all come like that on both models. And that's basically what makes it very attractive.
Very nice packaging indeed, Alex. I do like the A logo, but of course, everything you need, depending on the gauge you're looking for, will be included in this kit to have your amplifier ready to be installed. Now, finally, for those shops looking for some bulk options, we do have also some bulk power cable available from ALPHASONIK.
Well, correct, Ben. As far as power wire, we have 0, 4, and 8 gauge, as you can see, on the orange cable, and they do also come on with a blue cable. They do all come with, of course, the specifications of how they are. The 4 gauge is 150 feet long. The 0 gauge is 50 foot long. This is CCA. And we're working also, and soon to come, of course, on the pure OFC copper 100%, all on the same 0, 4, and 8 gauge packaging that we are soon to come, of course, for all of our consumers.
Well, there you go, guys. Alex, you've walked through some basic accessories. So if you didn't know, ALPHASONIK obviously offers all this to complement their existing lineup. Alex, where can people go for more information?
Well, for more information, definitely, they could go to our webpage, www.alphasonic.com, and also through our social media on Instagram, and as well as follow us on Facebook.
All right, that's a wrap for this CMA Live All Access, brought to you by SiriusXM and sponsored by 5 Access Innovations. Make sure to check out all our videos at cmanetworks.com. We'll see you next Saturday.
There's never been a better time to have SiriusXM with over 150 channels in your vehicle. Your Platinum Plan offer includes more than ever before to enjoy online, on your phone, or at home. Create your own ad-free personalized stations powered by Pandora. Hear ad-free extra channels and enjoy favorite shows with SiriusXM Video on Demand. What you love is on now.